Spokesperson for the Southern African Clothing and Textile Workers Union, Bonita Lubser, said she would follow U.S. President Donald Trump and take the tariff on China to 100% if it were up to her, as cheap Chinese imports are bringing the local manufacturers to their knees. Lubser told the Epoch Times that it seems like the Chinese can make clothes for next to nothing, and the current 45% duty on Chinese clothing imports is not enough to stop the constant flood of cheap products. Local workers are appealing for protectionist measures, including higher tariffs on Chinese goods. The crisis is especially serious in South Africa's clothing and textiles sector, which trade unions and economic researchers say has declined sharply over the past 25 years as local manufacturers find it hard to compete with the cheap products. South Africa, once a rich tapestry of clothes and fabrics made from locally sourced materials by ethnic groups such as the Zulu, Xhosa, and Swana, is losing its cultural identity as these products are now made in China, according to analysts. South Africa imported clothing and textiles worth almost $3.7 billion in 2024, with nearly half of this coming from China, according to the observatory. Yet, South Africa's exports of textiles to China is only about 13%, or $228 million of its imports from China. Lubser said the deficit shows the Chinese are dressing up South Africans, and we must stop this Boeing to Beijing mentality, or our textile industry will be wiped out. Local trade unions accused the co-governing African National Congress, ANC, of caving in to the Chinese Communist Party, CCP. Since the ANC came to power in 1994, the CCP has been providing financial and military support to the party's insurgency against apartheid. Economic researcher at South Africa's Institute for Security Studies, Marvelous Ngundu, conducted a 23-year study of the trade relations between the two countries. He said that between 2000 and 2023, there was an accumulated cash outflow of almost $115 billion from South Africa to China. South Africa's trade deficit with China is deepening and reached almost $10 billion in 2023 due to the trade imbalance, Ngundu said. The relationship is hugely to China's advantage because South Africa is exporting raw materials such as iron and steel ore to China and imports manufactured goods from China that crowds out South African industries, and many small and medium enterprises struggle to compete with cheaper Chinese imports, he said.